You see, there are secrets in the desert that were never meant to be unearthed. And this story, well, it begins with a man named Marcus Hale, an English archaeologist who spent his entire life under the burning sun of Egypt, lifting stones, brushing away sand, chasing after truths the world had long forgotten. Marcus wasn't like other scholars. There was something different about him, an obsession. People said he didn't care about fame nor money. What he wanted were the things no one dared to touch, the ancient legends, the whispers carried by the desert wind, told by Bedouins around the fire at night. And among all those stories, one haunted him the most. The nomads called it the corpse of the giant, buried beneath the sands. Sounds insane, right? But imagine this. In a land where pyramids have towered for thousands of years, where pharaohs declared themselves gods, would it really be so impossible that giants once walked here too? Marcus began searching. He wandered through ruined temples, looted tombs, canyons where sunlight never touched the ground. Everywhere he went, he picked up fragments of stories, of skeletons 4 meters long, arms as thick as palm trees, skulls so large a child could fit inside. Most of it sounded like rumor. But then, one day, Marcus got his hands on an old map from a merchant in Alexandria. The parchment was torn, stained, stinking of mildew, and in one corner there was a strange mark, a massive circle drawn in black ink, with a crude sketch of what looked like a giant skull. Marcus was convinced this was it. He gathered a small team. Evelyn Carter, an American linguist, brilliant at deciphering hieroglyphs. Dr. Yusuf Rahman, an Egyptian doctor, a man of faith and knowledge. And Thomas Reed, a young photographer, lured in by curiosity and a modest paycheck. They ventured deep into the Sahara, days under a sun that peeled the skin from your bones, nights cold enough to slice through marrow. But Marcus only saw that circle on the map. His obsession blinded him. And then they arrived. A wasteland of towering dunes, and in the middle, a sinkhole, a black maw in the sand, breathing out a chill that felt like it came straight from hell. Marcus knew this was the place. They set camp, and they began to dig. At first, nothing but sand. But then Thomas's shovel hit something solid. Brushing it off, they uncovered a massive stone slab. Not normal stone. Its surface was etched with markings, not hieroglyphs, not any language Evelyn had ever seen. The symbols twisted and jagged, as if carved by a hand that wasn't human. They dug deeper, and then they found bone. Can you picture it? A forearm bone, nearly 2 meters long, thick as a column. Marcus touched it, trembling, and the coldness bit through his skin. Evelyn whispered, "My God, this is not human." More bones surfaced, a rib the size of a door, a vertebra like a table, and then the skull. It was colossal, hollow. But when the torchlight fell across it, it almost seemed something was staring back from the empty sockets. Thomas lifted his camera. The flash went off, and in that split second, darkness swarmed. When the photo developed, there were no bones, just a blurred white smear, like a figure slumped over. That night, The desert wind howled through the pit, and they all heard it, a low, deep sound, stretched and mournful, like someone groaning after being buried alive for thousands of years. Yusuf prayed until dawn. Evelyn cried silently. And Marcus? Marcus just smiled, a twisted, broken smile, as though he'd finally found the thing he had been searching for all his life. But you know, once something is dug up, it never rests again. The nightmare began. Thomas disappeared first. His camera was found lying near the skull. The final shots? Blurry. Except one, a massive hand, resting on his shoulder. Evelyn collapsed next, but before she died, she whispered, "He is waking up." Her lips trembled, blood trickling, like the last lines of ink on a burning page. Then silence. And the moment her heart stopped, the ground split wide. Cracks spread through the sand, glowing red beneath the earth. From those depths rose a sound, deep, thunderous, like drums of stone rolling in the dark. Yusuf dragged Marcus back, screaming, "This is no longer archaeology, Marcus. This is the end of days." Evelyn had seen it before she died. The carvings on the stone weren't fixed. They moved. They shifted when she stared too long. At night, she dreamed of being trapped inside the giant's hollow rib cage, dwarfed like an ant, while the echo of its breathing surrounded her. Yusuf warned Marcus, "This is not a dig. This is a tomb for demons." But Marcus had gone too far. He muttered to himself, "This is proof. This is real history. Giants existed, and they will return." And in that instant, the desert wind screamed like 1,000 voices crying from underground. Stones rattled, sand slid down in sheets, as though a colossal hand was stirring below. Yusuf stumbled back, pale with terror. Marcus's eyes, however, shone with madness, his chest pounding with anticipation. When they reached the pit again, they found Evelyn, or what was left of her, standing by the skull, her eyes wide, her mouth mumbling words no one understood. A massive crack had appeared across the skull. From within, cold air poured out, reeking of rotting flesh. Yusuf shouted, yanking Marcus, "We need to run! It's waking!" But Marcus didn't move. His gaze locked on the widening fractures, moonlight glinting off the splitting bone. From inside, a hiss seeped out. Deep, guttural, a growl from hell's throat. Evelyn turned suddenly, eyes rolled white, blood streaming down her face, and her voice boomed straight into their minds. "You should not have woken him." The ground trembled. A black mass, thick as smoke but heavy as tar, oozed from the cracks. Every grain of sand it touched hissed and burned away. Yusuf backed off, his heart hammering. Marcus stood frozen, half horrified, half enraptured. He whispered, This is the proof I sought." After that, Yusuf vanished. No body, no scream, just drag marks across the sand, 3 times the size of a man's footprint. Marcus was the last one. He scribbled madly into his journal, pages stained with blood and grit. He wrote of dreams where the giant rose from the earth, eyes like twin voids, a voice echoing in his skull. "Open it, release me." His final entry was only one sentence. "If anyone finds this journal, know that he was never truly dead." And then Marcus Hale disappeared. You think the story ends there? It doesn't. Months later, in Alexandria, a little bookshop received a package. No sender. Inside, Marcus's journal, the pages smudged and shaking with frantic handwriting. But not all of it was his. Some of the words were huge, uneven, as though written by a hand too large for this world. At the very bottom, a line read, "If you are reading this, I have already seen you."
And here's the thing, that journal still exists. It surfaces, disappears, resurfaces again. Each new owner, missing, gone, just like Marcus Hale. So tell me, if one day you found a leather-bound notebook, gritty with sand, stinking of something sharp and metallic, would you dare open it? If you want to hear more stories like this one, don't forget to subscribe to Dark Whispers, because the next tale might come from right where you live.